So, dear students, today I am going to start. Yesterday, I taught you the animal tissues about the xylem and the phloem, but today I am going to start for the animal tissues. So, this is animal tissues. In the animal tissues, we will consider first ourselves as an animal and discuss about the all animals found on earth. Okay, so animal tissues, there are basically four type of the tissues we will discuss here for the time being, and that are number one, those four tissues which are definitely going to be very much important for you all, and you have to know about them. And remember it, these cells are number one, epithelial, EPI, epithelial cells, EPITHELI, epithelial, AL. This is epithelial cells. This is the first number of the cell, then the second number of the cell, which is found in the nerve cells, nervous tissues, NERVOUS, nervous tissues. So in animal tissues, there are four main type of the tissues. They are epithelial tissues, connective tissues, muscular tissue, and nervous tissue. Initially, we will start with epithelial. Epithelial, EPITHELIAL. First, we will take epithelial tissues in our consideration. This tissue is very much important. Although every time I say like the same, this is important, this is important, this is important. Because if it would not be important, then from the very beginning when you start your study, every chapter is important. Every topic is important. Every point is important. Because from here it begins. Later on when you will join DTech or MTech or other classes, that time not everything will be important. Because you are also you will be capable to answer any type of the question yourself, so nothing is important, but here is everything is important because you are just first time listening these type of the words and understanding about it. So now epithelial tissues, see my hand, my palm, the skin it is having, this is the epithelial tissues. This is the epithelial tissues. Everywhere in the human body or the animal body, esophagus, pharynx, larynx, trachea, lungs, stomach, intestine, large intestine, everywhere you will find. Even though in the nephrons or the kidneys, it will be seen. And in many other places, we can see it ourselves. And that is the inner lining of those internal organs are also epithelial cells. But in the epithelial cells, when if this is a thumb, this is its skin. This skin is the outer part which is directly in contact with the atmosphere. At that time, this epithelial tissue will be called as epithelium. EPITHELIUM. What it is called, epithelial tissue will be termed as epithelium. Means when it is found in the outer part of our body, it is known as epithelium. But when this is, suppose this is our nose, and this is the mouth, this is esophagus, whatever you will eat inside of it. Its inner wall is also made of these flattened cells. This is a epithelial tissue inside of our esophagus, inside of our nasal passages, everywhere. At that time, it is not known as epithelium. At that time, we will give it another term that is called endothelium. This is that time endothelium. I don't know why these scientists has given epithelium, endothelium, and epithelial tissues. No. Epi means outer. In the biological sense, epi means on the top of, over the another. This is called epi, epicenter, where it starts. The epi part. So epithelium. Epi word you have seen about the epicenter for the coronavirus was Wuhan, from where it was started. So here epithelium. Epithelium means epi means on the top of epi. Thelium means the tissue. Thelema. It has come out from the thelema. Endo means inside thelema. The outer layer of the cell inside the body is called endo. Endo means inside. Inside thelium, outside thelium. This is called epithelial, AL. Epithelial tissues have been classified in two forms, epithelium and endothelium. Epithelium is known as at that time that it is found in the outer part of our body, and the same tissue will be termed as endothelium. But you will say, how it is possible that the endothelium inside it is seen? No, definitely there may be some change, some differences. As the if it is found in the stomach, it will secrete gastric juices. But the sweat glands are not inside our body. So endothelium is not having the sweat gland, but the epithelium is having that. So likewise, there are many other changes too. And in the endothelium, there are the bristle-like, small bristle-like structures are found. Means suppose its structure may be different type of the structure. It may be hexagonal in shape. It may be irregular in shape. As in our topmost surface of our palm, we have seen its structure is like this. This is it. This is epithelial cells in our body. This is epithelium found on top of the surface. Sometimes it may be hexagonal in nature. At that time, its structure may be like this. Got epithelium from the junction part. But in the endothelium, these bristles-like structure will arise from the center part. Why this happens? In our esophagus, they having a movement. They having this type of structure. They are not straight in its lining. In the outer lining is this like this finger-like projection. I have also discussed it in the very first day biology lecture. At that time, they show a different kind of movement like this. This is called the peristaltic movement or peristalsis. The phenomena is called the peristalsis, and the movement is called the peristaltic movement. This is the peristaltic movement we have seen in the inner part of our lining, which is covered by the endothelium, which is the outermost part in endothelium. But these times the peristaltic movement have not been seen on the top part of our skin. Likewise, this animal tissue, which has been termed as the epithelial tissues, have been classified in the epithelium and endothelium. There is a vast difference according to the working of both of these tissues. So we have given it the name as the means outermost part, endo, outermost part is the thelium or the tissues, endo means inside part of our body, inside part of the body, that is called it. What are the characteristics of all of these ones? Characteristic is epithelial cells are closely placed. They do not have the intercellular spaces. As you have seen, I have made this structure over here and one structure over here, and there is no intermolecular spaces are seen. If intermolecular spaces would be there, then it will be far easier for us to digest a milk, not through our mouth, but through our hand. I will put one glass of milk on our hand, it will automatically go inside. But it is not happening like this. So therefore, because God has not given any type of the pores on our epithelial cells, so no intermolecular spaces have been seen over here. So it means you can use another term or the another line over there to increase the length of your answer. That is, they are closely packed, or their density is more, or they don't have the intermolecular spaces. So the trapped bacteria cannot go inside. This is the this is the security person. What is security? Nowadays, you have seen one security, one interesting security answer I am going to tell you. And nowadays, you will listen about the word N95 mask. What does it mean by the N95? Why it is termed as the N95 mask? This is termed as N95 mask because it protects, at least it can stop 95% of the particles from your atmosphere on only the filtered particles will go in. And what will happen there? That will be converted into the N100 mask, because 100% particle, air particle also will be stopped by this N100 mask. Polythene is the N100 mask. N95 means only the 5% of the gaseous particles or the air particles or oxygen you will receive from the atmosphere, and rest of the bacteria which are having the diameter is smaller than a particular one, which have been pre-decided that this type of the particle will not move out. At that time, this N95 mask is very much important. So this is important only then, but in the case of this epithelial cells or the endothelium cells, this is 100% and 100 type of the mask. It will not permit anything to go inside. But you can say, you can put for your dirt particle, I will not let it go inside. This is your bacteria particle, this is a virus particle. So this type of the sensory organs have not seen in N95 marks, because this is not a living organism. This is not a living cell. But here in the case of the endothelium and epithelium, we have seen these are living organisms as a part of the human body, as a part of the biological structure, as part of the animal body. So it is already pre-decided. This is having those kind of the codings inside of it, because the DNA and RNA have been seen inside. Or suppose you are just washing your hand, you are soaking your hand with the soap. At that time, does soap go inside? No, it doesn't go inside. At that time, it can go in a minute amount in the traces form inside, and they can change the chemistry of our epithelium cells. But it is not always non-beneficial for you guys. Okay, now the epithelials are closely packed, I have seen, and they do not have the intercellular spaces. They do not have intercellular spaces, means they are closely packed. The epithelial tissues that forms the outer covering, it is called as the epithelium, and the inner covering, that is called as the endothelium. Epithelial cells rest on a non-molecular basement membrane. Non-molecular, but they are not molecular. Then what is that? If this is endothelium or epithelium, I am going to make this type of the diagram for you to understand it in a better form, that what's that and how they are resting on each other, and why I'm using this type of the term over here. Now, see. This is cell like this. This is epithelial cell or the epithelium, and or endothelium. This will rest on any surface. Because where it will rest? It will not rest on the trunk, but it will rest somewhere on another tissue. If this is your tissue, nucleus will be there. Without nucleus, don't make any cell. Okay? It is resting on this particular surface. So this is non-gelatinous. This type of surface it is non-gelatinous. It will be gelatinous, then this will be slippery. Our topmost layer will be slippery. So when we will do like this, it will slip like this. So any person will shake hand, then he has to catch my hand very tightly, because otherwise it will slip. So this is resting on non-slippery surface. But it is non-slippery surface means the no friction is there. In the physical term, no friction is there. And if there is no friction, it means at what surface you have seen the no friction? On the smooth surface, that is having a lot of friction. At that particular one, the frictionless surface, when you will pour a small drop of oil or 1 teaspoon of oil, that time you will start slipping. That is the frictionless surface. So making it frictional, then what happens? What will make it friction? What will develop a friction inside it? The granularity. Means, have you ever seen the road, the black road, Dahmer road? That is having a small granularized structure on top of it. What this do? This create a resistance for your body, so your body do not slip. So this will not slipping. So they are antagonistic words, which these are non-slippery. It means it is granular. Of course, that cell which is granular will always be non-slippery. Okay, this is a non-slippery surface over which this epithelial tissue, epithelium cell or the endothelium cells is resting. So now epithelial cells may be flat, cuboidal or columnar. It may be flat like this, cuboidal like a cube. What is the structure of a cube? They are structured like this. All the four sides are equal. Cuboidal. And sometimes this may be columnar, like a column. Like a column. Columnar. Okay. According to the name, you have to know about this, the English meaning of that particular, why it is being used. Epithelial cells do not have any blood supply. Huh? Who cares? This is not having any blood supply. Man, no blood cells will be there. Then you may ask, then why we meet up any cut on the body surface? Why we come out the blood at that time? This question may arise. I'm going to give you the answer for that. Just you scratch your upper layer, will the blood come out? No. Sometimes a small layer of the skin may come out, but no blood will come. It may be damaged, but no blood will come. Blood only comes when we cut it. When we cut it deeply, or when we pierce any needle on our finger. At that time, blood comes because that pierces the first layer and goes to the second layer. Second layer is well supplied by the blood capillaries or blood vessels. There are a lot of blood capillaries. Why it is so? Because if there would not be the blood capillaries, then the sensations will not come up there. So this is it. So these on the topmost layer, this is a kind of dead layer. The skin, you can say the dead layer. Is it correct? In the winter season, you have often seen that the skin comes out from your palm, the different part of your body too. That skin comes out. At that time, what is that? The superficial skin. And have you ever heard about the dandruff? So dandruff is nothing but the scales of our head epithelium. This epithelium or the epithelial cell, when comes out, at that time, people say it is a dandruff. They say it is disease. Every person is having dandruff. Dandruff is not a disease. Dandruff is nothing but the outer layer, which is the epithelium layer. When it dries out, it moves. When it goes out, it never goes out like one cell, two cell, three cell. A mass of this cell comes out, goes out of the body. At that time, people say dandruff because everyone want to earn money by selling their shampoos, anti-dandruff shampoos, dandruff removing oils. How they will earn? They will earn to tell you not the real factor. So this is the real factor. Now, what are the functions of this? I have already told you that one function is to protect your body tissue or the body organ. Epithelial is associated with the protection of the skin, the absorption and the secretion of in the intestine. It is in the intestine or intestine. It is helpful in the secretion of the gastric juices, different types of the gastric juices, bile juices, HCl, the bacteria killing enzymes, all the time in the kidney tubules and the secretion in the kidney tubules. Kidney tubules, have you ever heard about it? Yes, of course. In the kidney, there are Bowman capsules. One is the efferent artery, one is the afferent artery, and the different type of the pressure difference between these two arteries, which is carrying out the blood. This pressure gradient helps to filter the blood, and the inorganic and the organic substances goes inside the Bowman's capsule, and from there it goes to the ureter and a urine forms. So these cells always having the epithelium cells. That too in the kidneys or the nephrons. Nephron is the unit of the kidney. So in kidneys, we have seen the epithelial cells are formed. So now the types of the epithelial tissues. How many types of the epithelial tissues are there? There are a lot of types of the epithelial tissues, but we will consider only three important tissues, which are single layered. It is epithelium tissue. Epithelium is, first of all, it is single layered. Single, L-A-Y-E-R-A-D. It is single layered. First thing, this is it. Second thing, if it is a single layered cell, then it is having three parts. What are those three parts? As I have given you, they are flat, columnar, cuboidal. According to their shapes and the positions, they are divided into their three parts. What are those? Squamous epithelium. Number A, SQUA, squamous, SQUAMOUS, epithelium. Squamous epithelium. First of all, it is a squamous epithelium is formed of the flat. This is the squamous on the upper surface of our skin. Is squamous epithelium, plate-like structure. They are hexagonal cells, and the place the edges to edge each time. Hexagonal cell, it may be like this too. If they are like this, they are kept plate to plate, plate to plate, or like this. They are placed like this. So this is called the squamous epithelium. And therefore, squamous epithelium has prevent like the appearance, and it also called the pavement epithelium. And it looks like pavement. What is the pavement? Pavement is, have you ever seen the tiles which are uh, seen on the floor of your house? At that time, tiles, when they put it on the